Am I fun? I don't think I'm fun. Was I ever fun? Can not being fun even be a thing? If I'm not fun, what does this really mean for me? Do you feel that way too? If you're curious or worried or confused about not being fun and what it could mean for your life, then this episode is for. Hey, fun friend, welcome to the Finding Fun Experiment podcast, where we crack your code to health and wellness by teaching you how to retrain your fun to be a daily habit. With me, Treena Innes, your life fun expert and host, believing when we make fun, laughter, and play a priority in our lives, it changes the world around us. It's brighter, it's lighter, and a lot more healthy. I'm here having fun today with Tanya LaBuick, who champions women. She had me at what she says, Strong Like a Girl, the title of her business and podcast that talks to strong women who have used their strength in their lives to persevere and show up boldly. I have been binging her podcast, and I literally feel I've met 10 new strong women in my life who make me want to roar. And when chatting with Tanya, just to get to know her a bit better, she literally stopped me in my tracks when she said, I don't think I'm fun. I was like, what? Honestly, I've never even thought that a person could not be fun. And she got me thinking, and I wonder if I've just been dreaming in Technicolor, thinking that other people are also thinking they could not be fun. So I knew I had to dig into this a little bit more. How many women are out there thinking they're not fun? I actually could not find any research or data on this. And what if Tanya was just strong enough to say it out loud and other women weren't? Even though I don't have a percentage or data to prove this, what we do know for women experience rising stress levels, and burnout data suggests that many women quietly feel like their fun has faded. So, to get to know Tanya better, I asked her to do some homework and gave her a guess fun challenge to do a play personality test and also a fun calculator to really have her think about if she really isn't fun and what do the tests actually mean to her about her thinking she's not fun. How excited are you for this conversation today on fun? And we all can't wait to hear what your homework says about you.
Well, I am excited. Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's an interesting thing when you and I had that conversation and I thought about I don't know, would people describe me as fun? Like I
Mhm.
have fun in my life, but it was similar to an exercise I did a couple of years ago, where you answer a series of questions, and one of the questions, and you do that for 29 days, and then you take a look for trends and stuff. And one of the questions that you answer every single day was, what was I enthusiastic about
Hmm.
today? And I had to really, really, I actually even looked up the word enthusiastic because I was like, maybe I don't know what it means. Like, what am
Mm.
I enthusiastic about?
Right.
Pardon me. But what I really kind of discovered is there wasn't much in my life that was helping me feel enthusiastic at that point. Right. So then that kind of was a
Mm.
catalyst to make
Mm.
other changes and things. So it wasn't bad, but it was like, I don't have any enthusiasm. What? Like, that's not a great thing, right? So I think,
No.
for me, no, for me, fun sometimes, what I consider fun, I always think like nobody else in the world is going to think those things are fun.
Mm.
And fun to me kind of is also, it ties into being silly. And I'm
Is what
not
you
very
think fun is. I see. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like people who are fun are like silly and cracking jokes and that. And
Mhm.
although I do crack jokes, I'm not very good at being silly. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. So when you took these, what did the tests tell you then? You took a play nature test with the National Institute for Play, which is a
Yeah.
fantastic one. 8 play personalities. Where did you land? What's your play
Let me
personality?
just, here it is. So, for the fun experiment, some adults play through storytelling. So, that was my play
Mm.
type, was
Okay.
storytelling.
Okay. So did that ring true for you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It says they are both authors and readers, but more so, they are people who weave stories throughout their life.
Mhm.
People who play through storytelling are the folks who can see an ordinary situation and transform it into a fascinating narrative, often captivating others as they tell their version of events. So, yeah, I
Mhm.
do like telling stories. I love to write as well.
Mm.
So, yeah, that really rang true for me.
And also in your podcast, right? You're helping tell other people's stories to the world, which is really
Yeah.
aligned with your play nature. So that's playful, telling stories and sharing stories.
Yeah, I think I would have never described it like that. I don't know that I would have connected that dot, but I agree with that. Like, it was a very simple test that you gave me.
Mm,
Like, I can't remember how many
mhm,
questions it was, but it
mhm.
didn't take very long, and I was like, "Yeah, that is what I would describe myself like, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure." Yeah.
okay. And then how did the fun what about the fun calculator with, Dr. Mike Rucker?
Yeah, apparently I'm a free spirit, so
Mm,
fun can come from goofing off, but it also means fun is found in the space of freedom, exploration, and creativity. I would absolutely agree with that, yeah.
okay. So what type of things do you do that are fun around that free spirit?
Um I try to spend a lot of time outside. I like nature and walking and biking with my dog, and to me, that is fun, and just appreciating all the different things that I get to see and feel and breathe in when I'm out in nature like that, and so that the space and freedom to do that and just kind of taking all that in, I think fits with that, and that's very much aligned with mental health practices for me, just taking that time to digest nature and be outside with my dog and stuff really helps me kind of, either digest the day and let things go or work through things if I need to do that as well. Lots of prayer during those times for me as well.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, and the creative part would be through writing and obviously through the Strong Like a Girl podcast as well. Yeah.
mhm,
So
mhm,
that would be part of the creative. Although, I say like I'm not a crafts person. Like I'm not
mhm, mhm,
cutting and gluing and like the Cricut
mhm.
things and all that. And like I'm not good at that at all.
Mhm,
But you want me to write a story or craft a character or
mm, mm.
see the beauty in something that maybe somebody else might not see is very much up my alley. Yeah.
I love that, and that really ties again with the storyteller
Yeah.
part of your nature. And also, I would say from what I understand is your entrepreneur spirit. Like when you describe all your businesses and where you've come from and the journey, and every time I talk to you, there's something new I've learned from you that you've done or you're building and that's a free spirit, right? When I equate free spirit being very entrepreneur like.
Well, that's interesting too, because for the longest time I would have never described myself as an entrepreneur.
Mm,
Like I just would not have labeled myself an entrepreneur, but I guess when you look at it and you look at what an entrepreneur does and is and stuff, I'm certainly that,
mhm.
but probably a bit more measured in risk. For me, a true entrepreneur is somebody who is all in, 100% invested, like mortgage their house to do this kind of thing. And right? And I'm not that person. Like I'm not gonna give up the very things I've worked hard to stabilize my life in order to do something. I might still do it, but I would come up with a different way kind of thing. So I
Mhm,
think that's maybe
mhm,
why I never
mm,
kind of lumped
mhm,
myself in there. I don't know.
mhm.
That's an interesting question. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love and this is the thing I love about these tests because it does make you look at things a bit different and uniquely. And when you first described what you think was fun was that silly. And
Yeah.
now we're really looking at the storytelling, right? How playful that I mean, that's so playful. People love stories and love listening to stories and you feel it in your
Yeah.
body, you feel it in your spirit, you feel it, it's called like body tingles. That's, when you know that you're having fun or something that excites you because you can feel it in your body. That's what stories do for us, right? With the emotions and our feelings and our lightness and that's very playful and free spirit as well. Like when you can we just talked originally when we started the conversation, I talked to you like I'd rather just be walking around nude all the time, and I'm not a jacket person, but that's my free spirit. I just wanna be free. It's just so constricting wearing jackets and clothing and, all the scarves and sweaters that you have to, when you live in the snow, but, like, free spirit, that's a very playful nature, whether you are serious about it or not serious about it.
Yeah, I think it comes down to definition. Like free spirit to me is I don't do well in heavily confined areas. Not that I can't submit to leadership and things like that, but to be provided autonomy and
Mhm,
those things is very important for how I work well. So
mhm,
if you
mhm,
try and rein me in too hard, I
mhm,
don't do well at all.
mhm,
So the freedom in that free spirit is that, right? Is
mhm,
that I get to manage like I'm an adult. I get to pick my own coffee cup.
mm,
I get to,
mhm.
all those different things, right?
Yes.
And so that's very important to me. I think fun and silly, when I was in my early 20s, I got hooked in with a chap named Russell Lowen who,
It's a great
kinda
name.
let who
Yeah.
led me through to be a facilitator in a
Mhm.
program called Alternatives to Violence. And it's an experiential workshop, and we did it in prisons and in the community and stuff, and there was lots of parts of that where you had to be very silly. And
Uh,
he would always say to me, "Dude, you gotta be silly, like, loosen up, right?" And so I think because he's like,
was he
he's
silly?
fun, gosh, right?
Okay.
And just could do that, and that was a big comfort zone for him and stuff, and I was just like, "Oh, I hate it, I hate it, I hate
Mhm,
it." Like,
mhm.
it
Yep,
just wasn't my shtick, right?
yeah.
And so I think naturally, and my mom is very good at that. She worked at a daycare all her life, and so
Okay, so
very
she's
good at
silly.
being, yeah,
Okay,
right? And
okay,
so
yeah.
that to me, I think, although being silly isn't fun for me at all,
Mhm, mhm,
it's highly uncomfortable. Even
mhm.
dressing up, like, I don't even like dressing up at Halloween and stuff, like, mm, I don't
Do
like
you
it.
like seeing people dressed up? Like, do
Yeah.
you like seeing people okay, so you like
And I
watching
like
it and
handing out candy. I like giving away
right.
candy. Yeah. I
Yes, yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
make me wear a
You don't wanna be
costume.
silly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not silly. You're a storyteller and you're free spirit, so you do not have to be silly to have fun. You got it
Well,
recorded
thank you.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I'm
that's
giving you
good.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's been
giving you
beneficial to when we first had that conversation and you kind of flagged that. I was like, I need to think about this. So I spent some time thinking about it and thinking about like, well, what is fun to me? And, I'm sure friends of mine, like I'm not a stick in the mud, right? And, you know, those kinds of things, but I think I would have never used that word to describe myself
Mhm.
because I made fun mean silly and gregarious and very
Yes.
animated and
Yes.
and those kinds of things, like Robin
Yes.
Williams kind of fun,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Whereas I think what you showed me is that fun exists in lots of different categories and even
Mhm.
with different definitions that maybe I hadn't considered. Yeah. So
Mhm.
thank you for
Yes.
that.
You're welcome, and this is
Yeah.
why I love these quick tests of people who are
Yeah, it
really
was
smart,
great.
develop them. Yeah, and there's lots more as well. Those were just 2 quick ones. And one of my best stories I tell is, a woman I was working with on my fun formula program, and we were taking her from kind of feeling like blah blah to like figuring out like her fun spirit and her nature to get her to where she wanted to go with her fun vision in life. And she had always coined herself as shy and a real introvert, and and that was a very negative for her in her
Yeah.
life. And when she took this test, she also became a free spirit as a
Hmm.
kind of this aha moment, and she that just like busted her thinking, like shifted her thinking, her
Hmm.
perspective of herself wide open. She's yeah, I'm actually not shy. I'm a free spirit, and like I want to do what I want to do. I want to do it in a unique way, and I don't have to be like everyone else. And so she really shifted like her shyness to a free spirit, and it really
Hmm.
opened up again a lot of opportunities for her to travel differently, to hang out with her friends differently. And yeah, it was really a great kind of before and after for her to open up her fun in her life.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
when people can make those changes that are, positive for them. Yeah, for me, freedom's very important to me. Freedom over my and obviously the rights of women and things like that. It's
Yes,
strong like a girl, and I think for me, just the freedom to feel, and again, I'm in my 50s now, so as Oprah always said, they're good. It gets better as you go along, and she's been right on that one. But
except for the
just
droopiness, like that doesn't get
yeah,
better. I what the heck?
gra- gravity. At some point, everything points down, right?
I'm gonna start standing on my head or something. I don't know.
But it's, yeah, just freedom. Restriction for me is soul crushing, and I think, through like I mentioned that exercise that I did, that one of the questions you answer 3 questions every day, but the first question was, "What are you enthusiastic about?" And so then,
Right.
from doing that 2 years ago, then I took steps to remove restrictions from my life and, focus on changes that I knew would give me that freedom, again, where I could then be enthusiastic about things and probably have more fun, right? So,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
and you got it,
profound measures,
it
yeah.
is yeah, and it is about, like, fun when people say, "Well, what is fun?" And, like, you feel fun, like,
Yeah.
that's where you find your fun, you feel it, you identify where you may be in these play natures and these fun characteristics, but you feel it, like, you're like, I call it my fire in the belly pulse check every day, like, I go through at the end of the day. Like,
Hmm.
did that feel good? Did that amp me up? Did that give me tingles? Did that bring me down? Did that,
Yeah.
make me feel flat? And so, using your body to tell you that this is
Yeah.
your fun, and then at the end of the day, do more of that, and then the other stuff, do less of. I mean, we all have to do like our boring stuff, like clean the house or do your taxes and stuff. That might not feel, maybe it might feel fun for some people,
Isn't
but
that true?
yeah, but that's okay. We get those things out of the way and do the stuff that amps you up. So
Yeah.
when I'm curious, when you were thinking, because you got me thinking, and you're curious about, why you were, I'm not fun. I'm like, I wonder how many other, again, women are walking around thinking about this. And so did that like concern you? And if so, why? Or maybe why not?
I don't know if it concerned me. It probably made me feel a bit insufficient in ways that
Mm,
I wasn't
mm,
able to do that. But also, I take, responsibility very seriously. And
mm,
I relish responsibility. I'm grateful that I can have it. And I try very hard not to misuse it or disappoint people that have given it to me. And so I feel like because again, fun to me was silly. You can't be silly and be respected in some ways, right? Like they're not going to hand you the keys if
mm,
you're silly, right? And so
right,
having
right.
wanted to craft, a
Hmm.
strong career with all that. So I probably felt insufficient in some ways in terms of how to relate to other people, but yeah, I wouldn't give away the responsibility in order to be fun like that, right? Like I do very well in those environments with high responsibility, critical nature kind of stuff. And I like it. I like it. It feeds my soul and my spirit in lots of different ways. And my brain, yeah, my brain just functions really well. So I don't know if I felt bad, but I made me consider things, right? And made me look at myself a little bit different and deeper and consider, what do you think is fun and what, would people call you that? I think my friends would call me fun because I'm certainly got a good sense of humor
You do.
sometimes.
It's very dry, and I
Yeah.
really I
Yeah.
personally like it.
It is dry.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, well, that's good. So you weren't super concerned, but you were very mindful. And then
Yeah.
and then I'm hearing, the old story of if they think I'm silly, I'm not going to get the keys to the kingdom and be responsible, which I like being doing, which is so interesting. I'm doing a lot of work right now. I'm doing a lot of team workshops and energizing teams, and again, put that fun, being playful and fun at work, and how it's such a significant impact for team performance, for connection, for creativity, for high performing outcomes. And when we're playful and fun in our work and can be that way, it just opens up. So, just opens up the door to profitability, just achievement, success, and performance in organizations, and breaking that mold, right? The old belief of, you know, you got to be serious to work. It works to grind. Play. If you're playing, not getting your work done, there's absolutely no research or data on any of those old beliefs.
Hmm.
But the new beliefs of when you have fun and play in your work with your team, even if you're holding this key, how your performance skyrockets. So that is
Yeah.
just such an old belief on that. But
Interesting
I
shit.
I do get it. I do get it. I have one of my stories that I tell is at one point in my career, who I have also been a key holder myself and being a rebel on this whole play fun nature thing. I did take a sabbatical at one point in my career, and I thought I'm gonna look at, and I love writing too. Sounds like we've got a lot of simulators in our
Mhm.
play. And I went to talk to a media company, and that was a very prominent journalist that I. And at that time, I think I had like, I don't know, like bright pink in my hair. Not like super crazy. My whole hair wasn't pink or anything, but I had like little subtle and maybe some, I don't know. It was definitely fun. And she said she wouldn't hire me because of my hair. And,
Really?
as just like you're thinking, like, people aren't gonna take you
Mhm.
seriously if your hair is that color. And I was like, "Huh, isn't that." I mean, she was about my age, and this wasn't even, I mean, this was maybe 20 years ago, but that really got me thinking
Hmm.
about, yeah, the old beliefs of fun. And, anyways, I marched out of there. I'm like, "Okay, well, your loss." Like, I mean, not gonna have this pink crazy hair forever, but yeah, I was judged on looking playful and being, so I didn't get the key in that situation.
Yeah, I think it's also for a woman, right? Like, I had to be cognizant of how I was perceived, right? And yeah, again, I really wanted that responsibility. But I've had great fun at work, with pranks and different things like that with
Mhm,
people that I work with. But there was always uh a time and a place for that, right? And we
mhm,
worked in
mhm,
high stress environments. Like you think
mhm.
for an Olympic Games, the organizing committee, right? Like you're working
Yes.
lots and lots of hours and everybody's away from their families and
Deadlines, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And so there's just when people get super tired and stuff, like there's just funny things that happen. And
mhm,
so we always had a lot of fun, but we also were highly, highly productive, right? And
mhm.
and there was a time for professionalism and things like that, and then a time to play. Like they say, work hard, play hard. We certainly abided by that as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I'll, yeah, look forward to hearing maybe how your mind shifts a little bit, and again, as we're, I think are you in your 50s? Is that did I hear that right at some of your
Yes.
yeah, and I think, in this 50s stage, we are the senior in our organizations or
Yeah.
becoming the senior in our I don't know what
Mhm.
happened, but, and yeah, and carrying probably many keys on our, our ring of keys, and so it is interesting how we can start looking at things differently as we're mentoring, others and newer generations into serious roles and responsibilities and how we can look at, things differently, right? Like, do we have to
Yeah.
be always that serious when we're professional or can we inject in, a bit of pink hair? Is that okay?
Yeah, and I think, you mentioned, if I was concerned what people thought about that. So, can I swear on your podcast?
You can swear.
So I try very hard to abide by the rule, fuck what they think. And the reason it always gets a good laugh. But
I love that.
because
That's the rule.
yeah, because I think, and I get reminded of that rule in my lifetime, because I always think you have to be very selective of what opinion you're going to take, right? And so there's certain people that I would hold in high regard and whose opinion of me personally and things like that would matter to me, right? And then I know that I'm fallible, so some of the other folks that might cause to have an opinion of me or judge me on things I've done, I have less concern for them if they're not within that circle because I'm like, oh, they can believe what they want to believe, they can say what they're
Mhm,
going to say.
mhm, mhm.
I'm going to keep on my way, right? And so I always think about it in terms of getting cut from a team or whatever, and you think about all those athletes and stuff, right? Like if they'd the Michael Jordans in the world and that if they would have listened to that coach that cut them, they wouldn't have played in the NBA or whatever that was,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes,
And
yes.
so I do consider some people's opinions absolutely, but lots of times I just think that in my head, like, fuck what they think. Like I can't let that noise get in there because that's gonna disrupt a whole pile of other things that I'm working towards, right? So and I've been very much like that a lot of my life, that I've been able to do that, right? And really kind of bear down and focus. But there's some hard lessons that get you to that place for sure.
Yes, and there's, again, judgment, right? And letting judgment seep in and stopping us from getting where we wanna go
Yeah.
or changing how we think about ourselves or our beliefs and challenging our values. Like, judgment is such
Mhm.
a it's big. It's really big, and it gets in the way of fun,
Absolutely.
especially for
Yeah.
women, right? We overthink things, then the guilt seeps in, and then it's just a whole rabbit hole of going down, and, so your analogy of fuck what they think
Fuck what they think.
is bang
Correct.
on as a way to, yeah, kick your judgment to a curb. Absolutely.
I think you have to, and you have to do
Yes.
it seriously. Like, you have to really draw that line and just
Yeah.
go, "I'm just
Yes. Yeah.
keep going." Yeah.
Yeah, keep going. Yes, I love it. Okay, well, it sounds like from some of this little testing, you were able to shift a little bit of, am I safe to say then the fun is silly might have shifted a little bit for yourself of like that you don't have to be silly. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're fun,
Yes.
even though TikTok and Instagram and all is telling us otherwise. I think, holy man, I actually am a silly person, and I find it even just not natural to like cut dancing TikToks every single day for my social media.
Probably never gonna see me do that. But, I but again, I have this but I fully appreciate it. Somebody very
Yes.
close to me, they do happy birthday videos and they put on like a clown wig and crazy glasses and they video themselves singing happy birthday to you and they include their animals or whatever happens. And then you get this video on your birthday. Like it's fantastic, right? Like it's just, it's gold. But I'm like, I don't think I could ever be the person that does the video. But I fully appreciate the people that do, right?
And it's yeah, silly can be fun, but silly yeah, silly it doesn't have to be all the fun. There's a lot of fun, again, we talked about your storytelling and your free spirit and
Yeah. Like,
yes.
watching Olympic hockey is fun to me, watching my country play, you know, and cheering
Mhm.
for that and texting with my friends who are in various
Yes.
places around the world as we
Yes.
watch the game and stuff. I mean, that I love
Mm,
that, right? You
yes.
know, that's fun to me. You
That's
know,
your
like this
fun.
guy was wearing his Apple Watch watching the hockey game and it's his heart rate got so high that it called emergency services. His watch did,
Was that my
right?
husband?
No, but I
Ah,
like that kind of
that
stuff.
was
Like
why the
I
ambulance was here this morning.
yeah. So I think that kind of stuff is fun, right?
Yeah, right on.
Just yeah.
Yeah, and that thank you for this is really that's the whole point really of this conversation today is your fun is your fun, my fun is my fun, somebody
Yeah.
else's fun is their fun. Everybody's got their play nature. Everybody can contribute in the fun and play. And also, if you've been out of practice with your fun, fun is retrainable. Fun
Hmm.
is what I say is very loyal. It's waiting for you. So if you've lost your fun, which is a big part of a lot of what happens when you grow up and become responsible and have all the keys in your life, is it fun can start to fade in your life, and but you
Hmm.
can bring it back. It's waiting for you. Fun is like one loyal, dedicated friend of yours, and it's easy to get back with some tools and tips and tricks and training and some dedication to it.
And so when you say it's retrainable, what does that mean?
So that means you can build fun habits back into your daily. So now that you know
Okay.
that you're,
Yeah.
a storyteller, that's becoming very obvious with
Yeah.
you, tell more stories. Read more stories, write more stories, make that part of your daily habit. I would
Gotcha.
say I fall into that storyteller category, and I every night before I go to bed, I read a story, and it's always fiction, and I look forward to it, and it just I look forward to it at the end of my day, every single day lying in
Hmm.
bed reading a fiction story. I don't read anything heavy, I
Yeah.
don't read anything work-wise, it just, lightens up my brain, and it really helps me go to sleep because it just all the keys from the day just disappear,
Yeah.
and I can read my story, and it makes me happy.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
just those little habits, and then the free spirit, like, when you think about your free spirit,
Hmm.
when you think about your fun, like, in the free spirit, it's not being regimented, not being told, again, spending time with your dogs, and you've created that fun habit, right, that you can just, like, take your dogs and
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
I am fairly regimented.
Ah, okay. Okay.
Anybody my friends would tell you, yeah, I'm fairly dedicated to a schedule and a certain kind of lifestyle for sure.
Okay. So your friends are
But
gonna
it's
challenge this free spirit business.
but I my free spirit to me is one having the freedom like we talked about, right? And so I have the freedom to have that disciplined schedule should I choose to, right? And I
Mm,
have the freedom to let it go if I want or change
mhm,
it if I want. And for me, a free spirit very much means, you know, you're accepting of the things and the people around you. To me, that aligns with who I certainly hope I am and continue to work to be is that just accepting people where they are and what it is they're doing and Mel Robbins the whole let me let
mm,
them kind of whole theory but
yes.
really starting to understand my own energy and the people that I can feel my energy go up go down when I meet people or I'm in certain rooms or hanging with certain people and really starting to become more protective of that but allowing them to be exactly who they are in those moments to me is also ties in with the free spirit that I'm not imposing my belief system or anything like that on anybody
Mhm,
else. And that's hard to
mhm.
do. Like, I'm not saying that I'm perfect at this. Like, you know, I love to sit in a crowded place and make jokes about people walking by too. But right? Crowd watching.
But you could change that into storytelling. "Oh, where are they
Yeah,
today with their fancy pants?" And, yeah, "Where are they
exactly.
going?" Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but that to me is the free spirit, right? Is that you like living on my own terms, right?
Mm.
Having my own relationship with God that maybe isn't, legalistic in nature, but that I can, yeah, that I'm an adult. And like I said, I get to pick my coffee cup and just be in charge of my day and my life in that way, right? So the scheduling is something that brings me joy because my scheduling is really based around certain kinds of exercise that I do and when I do it and things like that, which again is a mental health thing for me, but it's also a physical health thing for sure. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
love
so
that.
that
I love
really,
that. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely, here's the other learned lesson, like a free spirit. Maybe you may would have made an assumption that somebody who's more like gypsy hippie and dancing around in a
yeah,
circle with incense burning and some drums or something. But a, a free spirit can be like you, like
yeah,
having your schedule like this because that gives you the freedom to do what you need to do. That's you're in charge of your schedule. And that's your free spirit. And if somebody
yeah.
tries to mess with that, get out of your
Although
way.
I like the gypsies. I wouldn't, yeah. But you got to think, like I was a gypsy, right? With all my games and things like moving country to
Yeah,
country and
right.
doing, yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
some people term it to be a games gypsy. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
that's not out of the realm for me to have that kind of lifestyle, right? And
Mm.
yeah.
As long as it's in your gypsy style scheduling, the free
Yeah, as
spirit
long as I
scheduling,
just
yeah.
like I like the freedom to choose what I'm gonna do and when I'm gonna do it. Not that I don't go and visit people and I subscribe to their schedules and, if they have kids and animals or commitments or whatever and do those kinds of things. But for me, it means a lot that I exercise right when I get up because that sets up my day, right? I feel better, my brain is clear. I listen to a podcast or I something as I'm doing that exercise and it just sets up my day, right? But I'm very good at laying down as well, so
Yep.
I do that a lot too. Yeah, absolutely.
There's room for both, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Tanya, I just love this conversation. I mean, I've even learned a lot just from you about fun, and I usually wrap up with an aha and a and a what the. So my what
Hmm,
the I feel is the where we started the conversation of thinking fun is you have to be silly to have fun. And I think I what the and not that I haven't heard that before a million times. I think I what the that feeling that you perceived it that way,
hmm.
knowing that you are or just I'm getting to know you, don't know you very well, but I'm getting to know you that you had a very, I guess, maybe forward thinking approach in your just from your listening to your podcast and who you are. So my what the is yeah, how really the world still is in this old belief can be still be in this old belief system because that's just a natural place to be
Yeah,
and again back to the not the I'm not gonna get the keys, right? I'm not gonna get the
yeah.
keys if I look silly. So that was my what the huh. My aha was that what they think because I think Mel Robbins with her let them theory, this one probably was way ahead of that, but that's the same idea of that, like aha,
Yeah,
yes, fuck what they think. Absolutely, that's a great rule, and it's a great something to have in your, value system because it does kick that judgment to the curb, which is it just seeps in, so it comes in all the sides of your brain and your body, and
and I would
yeah,
hope that it helps you evaluate where that opinion is coming from, right?
yes,
Because,
yeah,
there's
yes.
lots of people who like to give me their opinions or what I should do, and my best friend always says, "They're shoulding you," kind of thing, right? And
Mhm.
and then when I think about that, I go, "Well, hang on a second. They're allowed to have their opinion. Do I care about what their opinion is? How is it gonna affect me?" So I kinda do this little roundabout thing, and then I go, "Okay, good. Yeah, they can have their opinion, and I can have mine."
Yeah,
And yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
So it
agree
just
to
makes you take
disagree.
a breath, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's my agree to disagree analogy. I don't have to agree with you, it's okay. I've heard you,
Yeah.
you've heard me. Change it, not
Yeah.
change it, totally up to you. So my is that free spirit, and again, still having things in the scheduling genre of
Mhm.
somewhat control, where I'm controlling my free spirit because this gives me the freedom if I have everything in the order I need to have it in, that gives me the freedom to be my free spirit. So that gives me a pause, and I think there's
Hmm.
something in there for sure. Because I think when you said that, even for myself, like I look at my calendar, it's pretty chock full, even though I feel I'm a free spirit, but look at I think I'm being a free spirit because I'm in control of my own schedule.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So that's
Exactly.
given me a pause. Yeah, on that. Even, just a little funny thing, anytime and I'm like you too, I love to be I'm outside, I'm hiking, I'm going somewhere,
Mhm.
I'm moving my body, and, my play nature is a kinesthetic, I need to be you can tell me with my hands, right? Like,
Okay.
I'm always
Yeah, yeah.
moving, and like you, I need to move first thing in the morning,
Yep.
and I gotta, like that's my thing, it clears my head, and hits the go button for me, but my husband, every time I head outdoors, I was like, "Where are you going?" I'm like, "You don't need to know. I'm a free spirit." And plus you can track me on my phone, like, literally, if
Yeah.
the police need to find me, you'll know where to I last was but that's part of my free spirit, I just I'm just going. You don't I'm
And
not
I
telling
think
you when I'm
yeah.
coming home or where I'm going. Goodbye.
And I think women a lot of times take up those roles that we are beholden to everybody else's schedules and everybody
Mm,
else's needs and everybody like right like we just kind of succumb to those roles naturally throughout society and culture and choices
yes.
and stuff and so I think I've had a period of time in my life certainly where I did that and I just thought gosh I just need I need the freedom over the decision making power, right? And not that I don't consider other people and not that it's completely selfish, I guess, in that way. But I think women spend a lot of time walking around feeling bad about things. So I like the freedom to be able to choose what I'm gonna feel bad about, I guess.
Or hopefully more freedom to choose what you feel good about.
Yeah. Yeah,
Woo!
there you go. Yeah.
Well, thank you again for giving me these ahas and the what the ha's and the and to the listeners today. And if you're listening and you've labeled yourself as not fun, I invite you to challenge your story because the version of you that laughs easily, that plays, that feels light, that version has not disappeared. It's still there. And she's just been busy keeping all the things together and she deserves to come back. And instead of asking, am I fun? Ask, what would I need to do to feel a little bit lighter and energized. So thank you for listening. Again, fun is loyal, it's retrainable, and it's there waiting for you. And thank you again, Tanya, for sharing.
Thank you.
And thank you for everyone for listening and prioritizing living lively in your life to benefit your health and wellness. And if this episode has sparked something in you, please share it with a friend who might need a little spark in their lives right now, too. And don't forget to subscribe. You don't want to miss out on any of the future fun. And until next time, remember, be strong like a girl and go have fun.
Thanks very much, Trina.